When love turns into greed and ambition spirals into murder, the story of Mary Samuels takes a sinister twist. Dubbed the Green Widow, Mary's tale is one of betrayal, manipulation, and cold-blooded murder that left 2 men dead and her basking in ill-gotten wealth. From staged assassinations to incriminating photos, this case unravels a chilling web of lies and deadly schemes. But how far did Mary go to secure her fortune, and who were the pawns in her deadly game? Stay tuned as we dive into one of the most shocking crime stories of the 1990s. On the afternoon of December 9, 1988, Robert Samuels, a 40-year-old cinematographer, was found dead at his home in Northridge, Los Angeles, by his wife, Mary Ellen Samuels. Mary Ellen Samuels, 42, stated that she and her 18-year-old daughter, Nicole, had stopped by to drop off their pet dog at Robert's house for the weekend. The couple was separated at the time. Upon investigation, it was determined that Robert had been dead for several days. He had been shot in the head with a pillow beside his body used as a silencer. The autopsy revealed that, in addition to being shot, Robert had been struck with a cylindrical object, which police believed to be the barrel of a handgun. The crime scene showed no signs of forced entry or struggle, and nothing appeared to be stolen, leading police to suspect that this was not a robbery. Mary was quickly identified as the primary suspect. Robert, 2 years younger than Mary, had known her since childhood as they were neighbors. In high school, Robert secretly admired Mary but never had the courage to confess his feelings. By 1980, Robert had become a successful Hollywood cinematographer and reconnected with Mary during a school reunion. The two rekindled their relationship and began dating. After just 6 months, they married. Robert even adopted Nicole, Mary's daughter from her previous marriage. However, Mary's second marriage was far from peaceful due to their clashing personalities. Robert was diligent and practical, while Mary enjoyed a lively lifestyle and dressed provocatively. The couple frequently argued about finances. To address their financial situation, Robert purchased a Subway franchise and entrusted Mary to manage it. In October 1986, Robert came home from work to find a note from Mary on the kitchen counter stating that she wanted to separate. According to Mary, their marriage had become dull, and she hoped they could remain friends but could no longer live together. Mary filed for divorce, but Robert wished to reconcile. They agreed to try a separation, during which Robert provided $1,500 per month to support Mary's living expenses. Meanwhile, Mary continued managing the sandwich shop, moved into a nearby apartment with Nicole, and embraced a party lifestyle, frequenting bars while leaving Robert to pay the bills. Friends reported that Robert was planning to finalize the divorce, realizing that they could never reconcile. He had consulted a lawyer and intended to cut off Mary's financial support. Since the couple had not yet finalized their divorce at the time of Robert's death, Mary stood to inherit nearly $500,000 in life insurance payouts and assets from her husband. A few days after the murder, Mary and her daughter moved back into Robert's house, put the Subway franchise up for sale, and filed claims for the insurance money. Despite the suspicions surrounding her, Mary passed a lie detector test administered by the police. The insurance company subsequently issued her a check. Mary began spending lavishly, purchasing fur coats, luxury lingerie, and high-end leather goods for herself and Nicole. She even bought her new boyfriend a $50,000 Porsche. The couple planned to move to Cancun, Mexico, and spent $180,000 on an apartment there. During the investigation, police discovered that while separated, Robert had been dating a woman who was also estranged from her husband. The woman's husband, a former police officer and current security guard with a history of domestic violence and a handgun in his possession, became a person of interest. However, he was able to provide a solid alibi and was cleared of suspicion. Police then shifted their focus to Robert's work relationships and discovered he was involved in a tax-related lawsuit with some colleagues. They pursued this lead, but eventually hit a dead end. The case remained unsolved for nearly 5 months. In May 1989, police received an anonymous tip claiming to know a lot about the Robert Samuels case and accusing James Bernstein, 27, of being the killer. Criminal records showed that James had a history of arrests for drug-related offenses. Further investigation revealed that James had a romantic connection with Nicole. However, Nicole claimed that their relationship was never serious. When questioning Mary's bar acquaintances, police learned that Mary had frequently expressed a desire to hire a hitman to kill her husband. Amid rumours that James had killed Robert at Mary's request, police brought both Mary and James in for questioning that same night. Mary firmly denied any involvement in her husband's murder, but James appeared visibly nervous. When placed in the same room, James told Mary, "They're going to arrest one of us, or both of us, right here, right now, tonight, for murder. They said they're 100% sure that you and I did this." Despite their suspicions, police did not obtain a confession and had to release both of them. In July 1989, a couple discovered a male body along a remote mountain road in Ventura County, California. The body was heavily decomposed, but fingerprints identified the deceased as James. A medical examination concluded that he had been strangled to death. The owner of the electronics store where James worked revealed that James had called him, expressing a desire to confess his role in Robert's murder. This was the last time anyone heard from James. Co-workers also reported that James had claimed Robert had sexually abused Nicole, saying, "Robert deserves to die for what he did." Reviewing divorce records and criminal reports, police confirmed that Robert had never been accused of sexual abuse. There was no evidence to suggest that Robert had abused Nicole during her childhood. When the police attempted to speak directly with Nicole, they discovered that she and her mother were in Cancun. At James's apartment, investigators found a phone card, which they sent for analysis. James's brother revealed that he had been involved in drug trafficking and had an accomplice named David Navarro. Tracing David's whereabouts, police discovered that he was the anonymous caller who accused James of murder. David further alleged that Mary was the mastermind behind Robert's murder. According to David, Mary initially tried to hire him to kill her husband, but he declined. She had expressed her desire to claim the insurance money and take ownership of Robert's bakery. Upon her return from Cancun, Mary refused to cooperate with investigators. Nicole also declined to discuss James's murder or the allegations of abuse. Police found payroll records from the bakery indicating payments made to James. They believed this was how James was compensated for his role in the murder. Additionally, phone card evidence showed that James had called both Mary and Nicole on the night Robert was killed. Further investigation revealed that the bakery had also issued a $6,000 payment to Anne Hambley, a friend of Mary who was not an employee of the bakery. After being assured immunity from prosecution, Anne agreed to disclose everything she knew about the murders of Robert and James. Anne claimed that after hiring James to kill her husband, Mary became concerned that he might not remain silent. Anne suggested that her boyfriend, Paul Gall, and Paul's friend, Daryl Edwards, could solve the problem. Mary paid Anne $6,000 for her helpful advice. On January 26, 1990, Mary was arrested. During a search of her home, police found a photograph of Mary lying naked on a bed, smiling, with $20,000 in green bills spread over her body as a substitute for clothing. The media dubbed her the Green Widow. Paul and Daryl were arrested for James's murder. Both pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against Mary in court. The photo of Mary, flaunting $20,000 gained from her ex-husband's death, convinced the jury of her guilt in orchestrating two murders. She was naked, rolling around on that money. It was unbelievable. That photo did more damage to her case than anything else, one juror commented. The prosecutor stated, "This photo is worth 1,000 words." The prosecution painted Mary as a cold, calculating and greedy woman. Paul and Daryl were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. They were released in 2009. In July 1994, a jury convicted Mary of 2 counts of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to death, but her sentence was later reduced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What do you think about today's case? Please leave your comments below so we can discuss it together. Don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate our team to bring more dramatic cases. And that concludes today's case. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching. Goodbye, and see you next time.